Hey there everyone, it's Evelyn with Evelyn's Crafty Chalk. I hope you're having a great day and thanks for stopping by. Today I am making a Halloween project that is so cute. You're gonna love it, so stay tuned for that. But first, let me tell you about the sale happening at Chalkateur. So between now and August 18th, you can get up to 50% off on select transfers, chalk paste, as well as surfaces. So don't miss out on those. I'm going to leave my link on the description, so check it out. Okay, so let's do this. And remember that if you enjoy these videos, remember to like them and subscribe and share them. It really does help out. Thanks. Okay, so I'm going to start with this transfer called a little batty, and I have some chuckable shapes as well as a surface that I picked up at one of the local craft stores, on sale of course. And the first thing I do, of course, is write on the back of my transfer back, so I know which way to put it back on the backing sheet, as these are reusable 10 to 12 times more if you take good care of them. Then I take my fuzzing cloth and I put it on there and I fuzz a few times. This is a new one, so I fuzz several times because I don't want it to stick. I want to take a little bit of that stickiness off. Then I line it up with the chalkable shape that says batty. I run my fingers through it, and then I take the little bats and I also place them underneath the transfer. I make sure that I have them in the right direction, because if they're in the wrong direction, of course, it's not going to match the transfer. So I just kind of look for the right spot for them. And if anything is challenging, this is probably for me the more challenging part of it, just because I have a challenge with my eyes. But hey, I figure it out and I get them all where they're supposed to be. The one good thing about the chalkable shapes is that if you do kind of mess them up or you don't get them in the right place, you can just go ahead and wash them and redo it. It's not that big a deal. Or if you want to change it up and change the colors later, you can do that as well. So then I'm going to take my black chalk paste and I'm going to give it a good mix, making sure that it has that yogurt consistency. And I take a squeegee and I just spread it all over the bats, making sure that I cover the entire bat. Okay, I make sure I cover it all well there, and then I'm going to pull the little bats off of the transfer. Oh, they are so cute, aren't they? And they came out looking great. Okay, so I'm going to set those aside. Okay, so now I'm going to pick up my shimmer violet, and I was looking for a purple, but this is as close as I've got, and it's a really pretty color, so I decided to use it. I gave it a stir, and this has a really pretty shimmer. And I take my squeegee and I spread it all over the word batty. I make sure I cover every single part of that chalkable shape. Now, Chalkateur now has some more chalkable shapes, a lot to choose from, so check them out, because there just might be something there that you'll really enjoy. Okay, I missed a little bit there, and I'm going to go ahead and take out the transfer, and there it is, batty. That is so cute. That turned out really, really well. What a great contrast. Okay, now I'm going to take my board, and I'm going to take some folk art black chalk paint, and I'm going to paint all over the board. I double check and make sure that the entire board is painted. I take a small brush and get into those small corners, and then I just kind of let it dry for a bit so that I have a nice dry surface. And now that it's really dry, so I'm just kind of checking it, but I felt like there was a little bumpy there, so I'm gonna take this sand paper and just sand it, getting rid of any bumps and uneven surfaces. And because I really want a nice soft surface, nice and clean, so that my transfer will adhere really well. So once I'm kind of done with that, I'm just gonna clean it all off and make sure I have here a nice clean surface. Okay, and this is surface wax. I'm gonna take that and I'm gonna spread it all over the board. And I wanna make sure I have a nice, again, smooth surface, and that the transfer is going to go on really well. And this is painted, so I don't want the paint to lift up or stay on my transfer as well. So now I line up my transfer. I'm looking to get those words where I want them. I don't really care too much about the bat hanging off the top because I'm going to use a chalkable shape here. So I'm just going to line it up, ensuring that I have the words where I want them, and I run my fingers through it. And once I do that, I take my glow in the dark chalk paste, which is fairly new, and I'm going to put it on all the tiny little stars. And you really can't see the stars here on the transfer. They're really small, but I make sure that I cover each and every one of those with this glow in the dark paste. Then I take my Hey Pumpkin paste and I spread it on the words. This family is a little batty. It certainly is. I'm sure most of us feel that way, at least some of the time. I check it, make sure that it's all good, and I lift it up so I have some time to work on the rest of the words. I don't want it to dry on my transfer. So I make sure that I spread the rest of the words there that I'm going to put on the actual board. And once I'm done, I kind of scrape off the excess as I do with all paste, and I put it back in the jar. Okay, now that I have my words, I'm going to take my chalkable shapes and I'm going to put a little hot glue on them, and I'm going to set it about where I want them. Now you could actually chalk Batty and the bats on the board, and that way you know kind of where to put it. But since this board was a little smaller than my transfer, I'm just going to putting it where I want, and that's the beauty of this. You can kind of use your own creativity and place things where you feel they look best for you. I think I like that. Okay. So I'm going to finish putting these bats on here. And that looks about right. Okay, so it's done. This turned out super cute. So if you want to make this, I'll put a cart link in the description. Take care. Bye.